How's special work is finally on PC, meaning there's more things that I can throw my money at, and it also means I could finally make a list of the top 7 HSW vehicles in GTA Online. And remember, my list, my opinion. If you have your own, drop it in the comments below. But with that, let's move on to number 1, the Shih Tzu Hakuchou Drag, coming in at $900,000 from Legendary Motorsport, with its HSW upgrade costing $1.4 million. This is the fastest HSW bike with a top speed of 157 miles an hour, and it also has a crazy acceleration, going from 0 to 60 in about 1.7 seconds. And after driving it around a little bit, the size of this wheel really annoyed me, because I don't know why, it just looks really dumb, like compared to the other wheel. And the way it moves when you go up and down the pavement or the sidewalk is really weird. Another thing is that it can't do wheelies like at all, which you should be able to tell from the build of the bike. Next up, we have the Coil Cyclone II, coming in at $2.25 million from Legendary Motorsport, with its HSW variant being $500,000. So the normal version of the Cyclone is already an absolute monster, being the second fastest accelerating car in the entire game, only being beaten by the Ocelot Virtue. But with the HSW upgrade, it becomes the fastest accelerating vehicle, going from 0 to 60 in about 1.5 seconds. But the thing is, it doesn't even the acceleration doesn't feel like it's slowing down, so it reaches its top speed in hardly any time. This top speed being 114 miles an hour, which isn't the greatest, but if you're prioritizing acceleration, this is definitely a must-have car. Another thing is that it accelerates so fast that it leaves tire marks on the road unless you can control it, and clearly I can't control it. So let's move on to the next car, the Bravado Buffalo EVX, at a price of about $2.1 million from Legendary Motorsport, with its HSW variant costing $1.4 million. So this car is a fully electric muscle car with a top speed of 145 miles an hour. Being a muscle car, it's surprising that this car doesn't handle like the Titanic and take turns like absolute trash, because most muscle cars are known for having terrible understeer and not being able to turn fully around corners. But the EVX is definitely the exception to this and is actually really nice to drive around. And as a cherry on top, it's compatible with Imani tech, which I go over in this video, which you can check out by pressing the top right or just watching it after this video. Number 4, the Bravado Banshee GTS, at a price of $2 million from Legendary Motorsport, with its HSW variant costing $850,000. This is the second Imani tech vehicle on this list and is definitely my personal favorite. But it's not just on this list because I like it. It's on here for a very good reason. With a top speed of 173 miles an hour, it's the fastest land vehicle in the game, which is one of the hugest flexes I think any vehicle could ever have. And being based off the Dodge Viper, the design is very nice and clean, and driving it around is amazing. Even though it has this crazy top speed, driving around in the city means you hardly reach that top speed, so you have full control over how you drive. Number 5 is the Ubermacht Niobe, coming in at a price of $1.8 million from Legendary Motorsport, with its HSW variant costing $1.8 million as well. This car is based off the BMW i8, which you can tell by the futuristic kind of design of it. But before I applied any sort of HSW upgrades, I drove the car around to see what it was like, and I realized this car is complete buns. First of all, the handling was terrible. The brakes felt like they were made of butter, and I could hardly stop behind most cars. So after spending the almost $2 million to upgrade it with the HSW, I can say it was definitely worth it on this car. I mean, you could tell that there is a huge difference between the normal version and the HSW version. This difference isn't too obvious with certain cars like the GTS, considering it's already an insanely fast car, but with the Niobe, you can tell almost instantly that there's been a change. And even though it has this insane speed, it is still very easy to control and very easy to handle when you're in the city driving in between cars and all that. I mean, here I even hit somebody and was able to recover while in the rain perfectly fine. Number 6, we have the Grotti Italy GTO Stinger TT at $2.4 million from Legendary Motorsport, with its HSW version being $1.4 million. This is the most expensive vehicle on the list when you add the car price and the HSW price, totaling to about $3.8 $1.8 million. As you can see, my car also has some armor plating on it, which means it is also compatible with Imani Tech, so you can dump even more money on this car. With a top speed of 168 miles an hour, it's the second fastest land vehicle in the entire game. So while driving this car around, the only main flaw I found is that the grip on the tires isn't amazing, and it does a couple of wheel spins before you actually start to drive off, and the handling is a bit off. But besides that, the car is very nice to drive, but it is super expensive. So for a budget option, we have our final car on the list, the Ubermacht Sentinel XS, at a price of only $60,000 from Southern San Andreas Super Autos, with its HSW variant costing about $1.4 million. So like I said before, this is definitely the budget option, considering it only costs $60,000. But if I'm being honest, out of all of the cars on this list, you can tell this is the budget version. But with the total price being about $1.4 million, it's cheaper than most supercars before you upgrade them. So like when you buy a supercar for like $2 million and it arrives in your garage, you've already spent more than you would have spent on this car, but the Sentinel would probably outperform that supercar. So when comparing it to HSW vehicles, it doesn't sound great, but when comparing it to base supercars, it's amazing. So if you're short on money but want a HSW vehicle, this is definitely the one to go. And with that, the list is over. I hope you enjoyed, I hope you learned something, and like always, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.